A backdoor dominant is when you use a 7 chord on the flat 7 degree of the home key to get back to chord 1 instead of using the traditional 5 chord. What the hell am I talking about? Right, here is chord 5 to chord 1. And here is the flat 7 dominant going back to chord 1. So traditional 5 to 1, that would be in this key, G7 would go to C. A backdoor dominant is when you use a B flat 7 to go back to C. Today I'm going to give you a lightning version of the theory of backdoor dominants and backdoor 251s. Then I'm going to teach you 3 key licks that you can use to get the sound of this ubiquitous chord change nailed down. And that's the important bit. The theory is useless unless you can apply it using the right notes when you improvise. Make sure you go and grab your free PDF cheat sheet, which has got these 3 licks written out for you with all the variations, which is really going to help you dial in your backdoor dominants. So, in a nutshell, a backdoor dominant is a version of a minor Plagal cadence. What's a minor Plagal cadence? That's chord 4 minor to chord 1. So a Plagal cadence is the posh name for a chord 4 resolving to chord 1. So if you had F going to C, chord 4 to chord 1, that's a Plagal cadence. In other words, like a church cadence. Now, if you just change that 4 chord to a 4 minor, in this case it would be F minor going to C. That is a minor Plagal cadence. Now, to make things even more wistful, it's common to make that 4 minor chord into a minor 6 chord like this. Ba, ba, ba. That's F minor 6 to C. From that minor 6/4 chord, it's a simple step to just change the bass note to the flat 7 of the home key to get what we call a backdoor dominant. For example, in the key of C, you take the F, A flat, C and D of F minor 6 and you replace the bass note, the F, with a B flat and hey presto, there's your backdoor dominant. And the reason it works is because you've got all this lovely voice leading. The A flat is going down to the G. The D is going up to the E or down to the C, and the F can go to the E. So you've got all these lovely movements inside the chords which really make it work. And it's a much more wistful, thoughtful way of getting to the home key than the traditional 5, 1, which is what you might call the front door. This is it's a slightly darker way of getting to the home key. So what about a backdoor 251? Well, we're jazz musicians. We have to put a 2 minor 7 before every 5, don't we? So in the case of B flat 7, we would throw an F minor 7 before that. Now that kind of gives you a 251 in the key of E flat. But the surprise is we're not going to E flat, we're going to C. So to make a backdoor dominant into a backdoor 251, you just do a 251 basically in a key a minor 3rd above. So there's the home key of C. And here's the key of E flat. Now, if you were in E flat, you would go F minor 7, B flat, E flat. But this time we're going F minor 7, B flat 7, but resolved to C. So that's how you get a backdoor 251. And the 2 chord of that 251 is actually the minor chord on the 4th degree of the main key you're in. We're in the main key of C. The 4th degree is F. There's your minor 7. And there's your B flat 7, and then we resolve up a tone. So that is how you spot a backdoor dominant. It resolves up a tone. It's a dominant 7 chord resolving up a tone. And the final bit of theory, I'm not going to go into the weeds with the theory of this, but when you use a backdoor dominant, the extensions you use are, here's the root 3rd, flat 7, you use the 9, you use the sharp 11, and you use the 13. Which is weird because you actually have a triad of the home key at the top of the chord. So we're in the key of C. Our backdoor dominant is B flat 7. And there it is with the 3rd and 7th. Now you just throw a C triad on top. Look. And that resolves nicely to the home key. So don't use flat extensions on a backdoor dominant. We're not going to get into the weeds with the theory. Just believe me, when you've got a backdoor dominant in jazz, it's a 13 sharp 11 chord and you use Lydian dominant. That's the posh scale. Okay, that's the theory out of the way. Let's get into those key licks. But if you like the way I teach, by the way, just before we do that, go and check out my free Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link is in the description. It's a whole hour of teaching which can instantly move the needle on your playing. You're going to love it. So go and check out the free Saxophone Success Masterclass. Let's look now at lick number 1. Okay, I call lick 1 the 7-3 because it's using the traditional voice leading that you go from the 7th of the 2 chord to the 3rd of the 5 chord. Now, we don't actually resolve like a normal 2-5-1 because remember, we're resolving to a different surprise key. But that's why I call it the 7-3. It sounds like this. Now, we've changed key because of B-flat transposition and all that stuff. So now we're actually in the home key of B-flat concert, which is C for tenor. There is the backdoor dominant going to the chord, and here's the backdoor 2-5. Okay, just to get the sound in your head, and this is what the lick would sound like. Now, I'm going to play this with the backing track so you can hear it, but just to cover one quick thing, if you've got a long 2-5-1, in other words, a bar, I'm going to talk tenor pitch, okay? If you've got a bar of F minor 7 and a bar of B flat 7, you can still use these licks. You just have to kind of cram it into the second half or do a little lead in like one of the variations that you can see there. So most of the time you have a short 2-5-1 with the backdoor dominance, but if it's a longer one, you know, you can fit the whole thing in the second bar, it's absolutely fine. But once you've got the sound of these backdoor 2-5s, you can extend the notes and make them into 2 bars. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like now with the actual chords. The chord sequence you're going to hear in tenor pitch is C major 7, then it's a 2-5-1 to chord 4, because this is what commonly happens. Then you've got the backdoor 2-5-1, and I'm going to play the lick. Here we go. Okay, see how that works? Now here's a little variation with that lead in. 2-5 to chord 4. And there's the backdoor 2-5-1. It really gives the sound of this chord change. It gives the sound. And you're resolving to the major 7 in this case. Right, now, I've got some other examples to show you where the rubber really hits the road. We're going to play it over a few different standards, all right? You're going to find backdoor dominance all over the place, not just in jazz, in Stevie Wonder songs, pop songs, you name it, it's all over the place. But we're going to see how this fits on Just Friends, then Misty, and then Stella by Starlight, which actually has 3 backdoor dominants. So I'm going to play this one lick over all these different examples to really start getting the sound of this particular lick in your head. Okay, the second lick is called I've Been to the Guildhall. Why is it called that? Because when I was at the Guildhall, that's the way we used to sing it. I've been to the Guildhall. It's just a funny way of remembering it. Now, this one focuses on the classic Lydian dominant sound. Now, if you're doing a B flat 7, sharp 11 with the 13th and the 9th, the scale that comes from it is an F melodic minor scale. Now, you don't need to worry too much about that, but when you arpeggiate that F melodic minor scale from the root all the way up to the 9th, that arpeggio that you get, that is the classic I've been to the Guildhall. All right, now that's what this lick sounds like. So here's lick 2. You can resolve from the F to the E, or you can resolve to the G. They both work equally well. And then there's a few different variations of this. For example, 3, 4, 1. That's quite a Charlie Parker-ish one. Then you've got the little lead-in into it. A 1, 2. Or a little variation like 3, 4. Okay, so here's what it sounds like in context with the chords that we had before. Check this out. 2, 5 to chord 4. Here it is. Let's hear that again, going to the third this time. 2, 5 to chord 4. Let's hear a little one of those variations. 2, 5 to chord 4. And here it is with another little variation, the final variation down there. 2, 5 to chord 4. So that's the I've been to the Guildhall Lydian dominant variation. Now remember, you can get your free PDF cheat sheet with these 3 licks written out. Just use the link in the description. Okay, let's hear this lick 2, the I've been to the Guildhall lick in the context of the standards. Now remember, it's been adjusted to fit the key of the particular standards that you're hearing, so it's not all going to be in C. Check this out. Let's now move on to the final lick, number 3. This one is called the Enclosure. Why is it called the Enclosure? Because it's an enclosure. An enclosure is where you do either 1 or 2 notes above your target note and 1 or 2 notes below your target note, which converge into the target note. Now, the target note in this case is the G, which in this key is the 5th of C major. So there's C major for tenor. We're trying to find that note, and we go. Now, before I play that lick over the chords, let me just point something out. If I go back to lick number 2 here, before we get some, before people get cute in the comments, I'm perfectly aware that you're playing an E natural over an F minor 7 chord. So in tenor pitch, here's the F minor 7. Oh, that's a bit of a muddy voicing. Oh my gosh. Right, so there's a tenor pitch is the F minor 9, and we're playing this. So you've actually got that chord with that note, which in theory doesn't work, but in practice, because you're playing a strong sound, it does work absolutely fine. So don't worry about it. In the big gumbo pot of harmony, it works. Now, the same thing is true here. You've actually got an E flat over a B flat 7 chord. Here's the chord, concert A flat, 13 sharp 11. Now, you're actually playing this note because you're going ba-da-ba-da-da. Okay, now don't worry about it. The clash doesn't matter. You don't have to go, although you could. Because when I play it, you'll find out that it all just makes sense. The easiest way is to stop talking about it and demonstrate it. Here we go. 2/5 to chord 4. So as you can see, it just works. Don't get on my case and start saying, oh, the theory, you're playing the 4th of the dominant chord. It's just a sound. Now you can also do the same type of thing on a slightly lower inversion. It works just as well. Check this out. 2/5 to chord 4. So see how they both work, these enclosures. And you could do your little lead-ins and all that. Let me now do lick 3 in the context of the standards. So that's it. That's what I've got for you this week. Remember to go and get your PDF with those 3 licks. And the important thing is that you really get the sound, the structure of these licks. And then next time you're playing standards, you'll be able to use the structure of these licks, the 3 different ones, 3 different, slightly different sounds, to really sound like you're making the changes instead of skating over the chords and really not sounding like you're authentically making the chords. I wish somebody had taught me this kind of thing when I was learning, because I just used to see a sea of chord symbols, not really knowing what was going on. But now I've given you some really cool key sounds, and then you can work with them. And when you're playing your standards, you throw them in, you're going to sound like you're nailing the changes. You're going to sound like a proper saxophonist. And it's not just jazz. You'll find it in pop, you find it in Beatles, you find it all over the place, in soul, funk, you know, even rock and roll, all over the place. You'll find Backdoor Dominance, and you can use the same licks. I hope you really enjoy it. Now, remember I mentioned my free Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link's in the description for that. And also, if you want more bonus content, and there's a monthly solo, and you can ask me anything you want live every month, go and join the Inner Circle membership. That's where you get access to little old me every month. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it muchly. And until next week, practice hard, practice smart. That's why you're here. And more than anything else, enjoy your music. Take it easy, guys. Am I ever going to get this right? You have to play it. My singing. I completely got that wrong.